I worked 3 jobs and stayed up all night weaving baskets just to send my husband to America. I gave him every penny. I skipped meals so he could pay his tuition. I waited 2 years for him to call me to join him. The day he got his green card, he finally called. But he didn't say, "I love you." He said, "I found someone else. I'm sending you divorce papers." My ex-husband used me to get to the USA, then dumped me the moment he got his papers. He thought I would stay in the village and cry. He thought he broke me. But he didn't know I had the evidence to ruin him. I followed him to America and I built an empire right under his nose. Wait until you see his face when he walked into my shop to ask for a loan, not knowing I was the CEO. Click to see how I got my revenge. Before we begin, thank you to the beautiful souls already here. This channel is a small house right now, but I'm working hard to turn it into a true home for all of us. Please, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and join our family. It costs nothing, but it means everything to a sister trying to find her voice. Thank you so much. White Heart. This is a story about betrayal, heartbreak, and finding strength I never knew I had. It's about a man named Liam, a green card, and how my life changed forever. Grab a snack, get comfortable, because this is a long one, but I promise you, it's worth it. My name is Layla, and before all of this, before the tears, before the struggle, before the triumph, I was just Layla. I lived in a small, vibrant town back home, where the sun always felt warm on my skin and the market was a symphony of sounds and smells. I wasn't rich, but I wasn't poor either. I had my small stall selling beautiful handcrafted baskets, learned from my grandmother. My days were simple, but full of joy. I had friends, family, and big dreams, dreams that, honestly, mostly involved making enough money to expand my little business and maybe, just maybe, build a nice home for my parents. Then Liam walked into my life. Oh, Liam. He was tall, charming, with a smile that could melt butter and eyes that sparkled when he laughed. He wasn't from my town. He was from a bigger city, visiting relatives. We met at a community festival. He saw me laughing with my friends, and he just walked over. "Smooth, right?" He said. My laugh was infectious. I was instantly smitten. He talked about his big plans, his ambitions. He wanted to go to America, the land of opportunity, finish his studies, and make a name for himself. And he said he wanted me by his side. Our romance was a whirlwind. He'd visit often, bringing small gifts, sharing grand dreams. He'd sit with me at my stall, not caring about the dust or the heat, just watching me work, praising my craft. He made me feel like the most beautiful, most important woman in the world. My friends were jealous, my family cautious. "He's from the city, Layla," my aunt would say, "their ways are different." But I didn't care. I was in love. Liam was my future, my adventure. He proposed to me under the biggest mango tree in the village, during sunset. It was straight out of a movie. He didn't have a fancy ring. He gave me a simple, beautiful silver band that had belonged to his own grandmother. He said it was a symbol of roots, of connection, of how we would grow together. I said yes, of course, with tears streaming down my face. I couldn't imagine a life without him. We would conquer the world, starting with America. The plan was simple, or so he said. He would go to America first, get his education, settle in, and then send for me. But getting there, that was the hard part. The visa fees, the plane tickets, the tuition, it was all so expensive. Liam had some savings, but it wasn't enough. That's when he looked at me with those earnest eyes and said, "Layla, my love, we're a team. This is for our future." And I believed him. Family, let me tell you the truth about those 4 years. I didn't just send money. I gave Liam my life in installments. Every morning, before the sun dared to wake up, I was already at the market. I worked 3 jobs. I washed clothes until my fingernails bled, I sold food by the roadside, and I stayed up until midnight weaving baskets by the light of a small candle. I became a ghost of myself so he could become a somebody in America. I remember the day I sent the biggest transfer, $5,000. That money wasn't from a bank, it was from my hunger. I skipped meals for months. I wore the same torn shoes for 2 years just so I could afford his flight ticket and his first 3 months of rent in the US. I gave him every penny I worked for, thinking I was planting a seed in our future. I thought I was sending my husband ahead to build a nest for us. I didn't know I was actually paying for the bed he would eventually share with another woman. I worked for his success, only for him to use that success to buy my replacement. So, I started working. Not just at my basket stall, which I expanded by staying up late every night, weaving under a dim lamp. No, I took on extra jobs. I cooked for events, I cleaned houses, I helped harvest crops for neighbors. Every single penny I earned, every calloused hand, every aching back, it was all for Liam. It was for us. I lived on the bare minimum, sending every extra dollar to him. He'd call me, telling me how hard he was working too, how he missed me, how he couldn't wait for me to join him. I lived for those calls. He painted such a beautiful picture of America. He told me about the tall buildings, the endless opportunities, the comfort we would have. No more struggling, my love, he'd promise. You'll have your own big shop, your baskets will be famous. He even sent me pictures of a small apartment he said he was saving for, a park where we would walk. I taped those pictures to my wall, little windows to my future. They kept me going when I was exhausted, when doubts crept in. Looking back, there were signs. Small things. His calls became less frequent. His voice, sometimes, sounded distant. When I'd ask about his classes, he'd be vague. He'd always say, "It's just so much work, Layla. You wouldn't understand." And because I trusted him, because I loved him, I always accepted his explanations. I told myself he was stressed, working hard for our future. I sent him more money, always more. Then, the news came. He got his green card. Oh, the joy. I screamed, I danced, I cried happy tears. My family celebrated with me. This was it. Our dream was finally coming true. He could sponsor me now. I immediately started preparing my visa application, gathering all the documents. I even bought a special dress for my flight, something new, a symbol of my new beginning. I pictured him at the airport, his arms open, that dazzling smile. You know, people talk about heartbreak like it's just a feeling. It's not. It's a physical pain. It felt like someone had reached into my chest and squeezed my lungs until I couldn't breathe. I fell to the floor of my shop, surrounded by the baskets I had woven to pay for Liam's life. I had worked 3 jobs. I had starved. I had sent him over $25,000 over 4 long years, and he used my sweat and blood to marry another woman. The call came a week later. It wasn't the excited, loving call I expected. His voice was cold, formal. "Layla," he said, and my heart sank instantly. "I have something to tell you." I gripped the phone, my knuckles white. He spoke quickly, without emotion. I've met someone else. I'm getting married here. I'm sorry, but this isn't going to work. I'm sending you the divorce papers." Divorce papers. Not even in person. Not even a proper goodbye. Just divorce papers. My world didn't just crumble, it exploded. The phone slipped from my hand. I don't remember much after that, just a blur of tears, screams, and my mother's worried face. The woman who had sacrificed everything, poured her soul and savings into a dream, was discarded with a cold phone call. He used me. He used my money, my love, my hope, just to get his green card. In a small town, news travels faster than light. By the next day, everyone knew. The girl who worked so hard for her American husband had been dumped. I could see the pity in their eyes at the market. Some people even laughed behind my back. "She was too proud," they whispered. "She thought she was better than us because of her U.S. husband. Now look at her." The shame was worse than the hunger I had felt while saving that money. I stayed in my room for 7 days. I wanted to die. The next few weeks were the darkest of my life. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. My basket stall lay forgotten. I felt foolish, betrayed, a laughingstock. I was left with nothing but a broken heart and a pile of debts from loans I'd taken for him. I just sat, staring at those pictures of America on my wall, now mocking me with their false promises. One afternoon, my younger brother, Ethan, found me just staring blankly. He didn't try to cheer me up. He just sat beside me, quiet. After a long time, he said, "Layla, what did he need to send you that money for?" And then, like a lightning bolt, something clicked. I remembered. He told me he needed to show a certain amount of income on his immigration application. I didn't eat for 3 days, but on the 4th day, I got angry. And family, let me tell you, anger is a better fuel than grief. I opened my old laptop and searched every email Liam ever sent me. I found them. "Layla, send $2,000 today. I need to show the immigration office this is my income so they think I'm wealthy." I realized Liam hadn't just cheated on me, he had cheated the U.S. government. He committed immigration fraud using my sweat. A cold resolve settled over me. This wasn't about revenge anymore. This was about justice. Then, I remembered. 2 months before the breakup, Liam had helped me get a visitor's visa. It was still in my passport, valid for 6 more months. He thought I was too broken, too poor, and too village to ever use it. He thought I would stay home and cry while he lived his best life in America with my money. He was wrong. I called my brother, Ethan. "Sell the shop. Sell my weaving stools. Sell the baskets. Sell everything I own." Ethan was shocked. "Layla, what are you doing?" I told him, "I am going to America. Not to beg Liam. Not to ask for him back. I am going to get what is mine." My mother gave me her gold wedding ring to sell for extra cash. She told me, "Go, Layla. Go and show them what our daughter is made of. Don't look back until you are standing on his neck. The day I boarded that plane, I didn't wear the special dress I bought for Liam. I wore my working clothes. I sat on that plane for 16 hours, staring out the window. I had no plan, no place to sleep, and only $400 in my pocket. But I had a folder full of receipts, every bank transfer and every lie. Liam thought he was marrying an American dream, but he didn't realize he was about to meet his African nightmare. Landing in America was different than I'd imagined. There was no Liam with open arms. Just me, a small suitcase, and a heart burning with determination. I felt so small, so alone. But I hit the ground running. My first job was washing dishes in a small restaurant. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. I saved every penny. During my breaks, I'd sketch basket designs on napkins, dreaming of my own business again. I was building myself from scratch. After a year of relentless saving, I finally had enough to rent a small space. It was a tiny corner stall in a bustling indoor market. But it was mine. I started selling the beautiful, intricate baskets I wove myself. People loved them. Word spread. My business, Layla's Handcrafted, grew faster than I ever imagined. I hired a few local women, teaching them our weaving techniques. We started making home decor, jewelry, and clothing, all infused with the spirit of our heritage. I worked tirelessly, fueled by the joy of building something real. I was successful, truly successful. One day, I was invited to a major cultural fair in the city. As I was setting up my biggest display, I heard a familiar voice. "Layla, is that Layla?" My blood ran cold. I turned around, and there he was, Liam. He looked different, not the polished Liam I remembered. He was thinner, his clothes were worn. He stammered, "I heard about Layla's Handcrafted. I didn't know it was you." He explained how his new business had failed, his new marriage had fallen apart, and how he was struggling. He even hinted at needing a loan, unaware he was talking to the very woman he had scorned. The irony was almost too much. I looked at him with a strange sense of calm. "Liam," I said, "do you remember the divorce papers? Do you remember the money I sent you for your fake income to show immigration?" He flinched. I reached into my bag and pulled out a manila envelope of the receipts. "I won't report you, Liam. Not because I forgive you, but because I don't need to. My success is my justice. You are facing the consequences of your own actions." I placed the envelope on his table and walked away. Liam broke my heart, but he also set me free. He pushed me to find a strength I never knew I possessed. To everyone watching, your story isn't over. Your pain can be your power. Don't let anyone dim your light. Rise up, build your own empire, and let your success be your loudest revenge. Telling this story was like opening an old wound, but I feel stronger knowing you were listening. I am praying for anyone going through a silent battle right now. Remember, you are not a victim, you are a survivor. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed my journey, please like this video, subscribe to our family, and share your own stories in the comments below. Let's protect our sisters together. I love you all. Until next time, stay strong, and keep shining. God bless, and bye.